Welcome back, orchid lovers and plant friends. I've got an interesting little orchid to show you today. I did consult my little book of Brazilian orchids, but sadly it wasn't in there. So I will put a link in the description below to the orchid species site where it has a little bit of information on it. I'm proud to say this is the first bloom on my Maxillaria Schunkeana, the black orchid. This delicate species from Brazil produces these small flowers that are around about 1 centimetre in size. As you can tell, this is not a big showy orchid. Up close you will see it has a deep red burgundy tinge to it. But you have to get close to see this because it is definitely black to the eye. I find this relatively easy to grow. I have it on my deck and it gets fairly good sun and it allows me to keep it moist as well. I can see a little snap leaf there sadly. We'll just leave that there for now. I'd like to show you the plant which I purchased at an auction some time ago. I'll also give you a little update on my Bulbophyllum. It's a relatively compact plant and if you don't keep your eye out you may miss these blooms. The description says it grows in coastal Atlantic rainforests, so by my interpretation I keep it fairly warm and mist it regularly. It's been doing well for me in this standard pot. This is exactly how I purchased it, but I'm wondering that it might be a little more successful in a water well pot. It grows 2 leaves per pseudobulb, and as you see these tiny little blooms in there that are around about 1 centimetre in size. I'll put my finger against that so it gives you an indication. This plant has a simple mixture of small bark and perlite. The basket pot next to this is filled with small bark. The main plant had a growth hanging over the edge, so I proceeded to put that across the top of it and let it root down into that bark. Once it was established, I simply snipped it and now I have 2 plants, safeguarding myself against a disaster. I look forward to trying to get this to a specimen size, but you would have to keep your eye out because if you're not looking closely, you may miss out when it's in bloom, and that would be a shame. I wouldn't recommend this for cooler environments unless you have some conditions that you could artificially grow it warm. Now this Bulbophyllum, you will remember from a previous video I made this dreadful pot and mounted the orchid. I was going to change it, but it has been rooting well into the media. My Bulbophyllum odoratissimum, it's been doing really well, so I've left it and it's popped out 2 blooms. I was a little worried that this might be its last hurrah, but everything's looking healthy, the roots are growing well, and the leaves are looking lovely, so I'm quite happy with it. Now, these are tiny, tiny blooms. They're about 1/2 centimetre in size. Very difficult to show you here, so I will take some photos and see if I can show you further in the video. Because it's doing well, I'm going to leave it as is. I'm hoping that it will grow with some speed and cover that horrible pot, but as a specimen plant with these little flowers I think it's going to look gorgeous. So he's going to stay there happily on his little ugly basket. So the star of the day is still my little black Maxillaria Schunkeana. I was so happy when I saw this flower. If you own one, keep an eye out if you haven't had it bloom before because you don't want to miss out on this. Anyway, these little small species orchids are such fun to grow. Give them the right conditions and you will be rewarded with gorgeous little blooms. They're not big showy orchids, but they're fun. So if you haven't got much room and you do want to grow some orchids, give these sorts of things a go. You can see by these mounting clips that you only have to have a little bit of wire to hang them on a panel on the wall somewhere, or in your garden, or even if you're in your apartment on your balcony. Now you'll see that crinkly little lip here, and this will show you that red burgundy tinge. It's an absolutely beautiful little flower. This was the Bulbophyllum when it was just opening up, and I noticed these tiny little buds. So this is a beautiful buttercup yellow bloom, and they almost look like a starfish. I'll see if we can get the closer photo for you. Very, very interesting. This Maxillaria has been a lot of fun to grow, and I'm really excited to see my first bloom. I've obviously got it in the right spot, so I'm going to leave it where it is and work at more blooms on the next round. Funny little flowers look like they're smiling at you. I hope you enjoyed seeing this gorgeous little orchid. It's a beautiful thing. Thanks for watching, and thanks for sharing some of my plant adventures. Have a great day.